exciting. How has your week's been going? We're now, I believe, in the fourth week. So we're midway through. So we brought in our awareness. First off, when you want to make a change, the first thing that you want to do is create your awareness. You know, I knew that my life needed to change. I knew that I was at a tipping point, a make or break. Some people might want to call it the dark night of the soul. There was a lot of things going on for me. And we've gone through 2 years of almost like the dark night of the soul. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity, especially with this recent eclipse that we had. This eclipse, can you imagine living in the times when there was no electricity? So this eclipse, the last time it occurred in this fashion, the longest, darkest period ever, 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 28 minutes, was 508 years ago. Can you imagine having an eclipse, all of a sudden having this beautiful, shining full moon where they could actually work in the light of the moon, and then have it go into total blackness for 3.5 hours, and then have this beautiful full moon come back? Talk about a miracle, talk about magic. Or even, some people would look at it as a celebration, as, yay, hallelujah, it's back. Some people may have gone into a deep, dark fear. And they call that your shadow. Your shadow comes up when you start to create change. Your shadow comes up with the ego side of it going, you can't do that. You can't be that. Have you ever heard of the term imposter syndrome? Whether you're stepping into like a thought leader's role or an influencer's role or a new job in a new role, sometimes you might think, oh my gosh, who do I think I am? Who are you not to think that you are that? Who are you not to share the gift of you in life? I want to call it I like to term things like Wonder Woman. The work that I do is like it becomes you times 2, because you step into not only you're stepping into that ecstatic passion of you. But really, sometimes we don't even know what that is or where it comes from. Sometimes you can have that big, huge belly laugh, or, laugh till you cry. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time? And sending off that chemical reaction in your body, that happiness reaction. You see, we are a chemical being. And we decide with our thoughts, our words, and our actions, we decide what chemical is being set off in our body. This is a science. We are a science. And you have control over the science of your body. Yeah, I participate in yogic philosophy studies every weekend, and right now I'm studying Tantra, Tibetan heart yoga, as part of my Bodhisattva studies, and as part of my empowering me, my foundation for the way that I want to show up. So I'm continually learning, like looking for that foundation of how you want to show up. When I was on that dark night of the soul journey, like I sat in a park here, and I sat on a bench and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. I called it my little snot puddle, and people were jogging past me. And I thought, they don't even know that they have the potential to save a life right now. Yeah. And there was a single tree in that park, one single tree. And when I had my sunglasses on and I had like filled with tears and this puddle underneath me. And I looked up and I seen this tree. And I told myself I had a choice to be that tree that's in front of me, or that puddle of tears and snot below me. And I needed to make that choice. I needed to make that choice. And I'm not saying that this is where you're at. This could be where you're at. I'm just telling you a point in reference in my life that allowed me to live for me. to live for me. My daughter was a teenager and she was going through some tough times, right? And it was coming out on me. And I was having my little pity party that I didn't deserve to be treated that way. Or without the love of my daughter, I didn't exist anymore. Without the love of my children, I had no existence because I devoted my life to my children as a single mom. I want you to step into your devotion to you and get ecstatic about it. That's why I named my company BlissBE.Me, for heaven's sakes. Bliss is happiness and joy. It's ecstatic. It's enlightenment. It has so many of these beautiful, beautiful words that totally encapsulated everything that I want to be, do, and have. I want to educate people that bliss is an opportunity. Bliss is with us every single day, and how to educate ourselves in that. But most importantly is to embody it. So it's educate and embody, and then be that enriched person, be that enlightened person. It is all there for us to, it's right here, right now, for us to step right into, put the sweater on, see what feels right. When we change our energy, we change our state of being. Simple. When we change our energy, we change our state of being. And how do we change our energy? We change it by changing our mind. We get to decide. We get to decide how we want to dress when we get up in the day. We get to decide what pair of shoes we want to put on. We get to decide what we want tea or coffee or lemon water. We get to decide to breathe. When I went through that dark night of the soul, when I went through that experience, that snotty experience in the park, where I had a plan, and if I executed it, it was not going to be a plan that would have been good for anybody. I chose to breathe. I chose to be that tree. I chose to ground into the earth and stand tall. I chose to allow my branches to grow and the leaves and the flowers to bloom. Bloom where you are planted is a common phrase. Bloom where you are planted, right here, right now. So as we go into this, and I brought in the breathing in the second week, we're breathing down into our lower abdomen. I engaged it before I even pressed live here today. Put your hand there and put your hand here and see where you're breathing. And breathe down. Make the choice to breathe down to the hand on your abdomen. Each step in this journey to new you is about you making a new choice. The chest breath is where we go when we need to activate our survival, when we need to run. We need everything to come into this chest area, to our respiratory area. When we want to think clearly, when we want to engage in our intuition, when we want to relax and assist our digestion even, we come into our lower breath in our lower abdomen. I'm going to show you again. We come down, right down to the lower portion, right down. So it's below the belly button, and we're going to come up to the belly button. Then we're going to come up into the diaphragm. This is a big muscle here. And we're going to come out to the side ribs. We're going to come out. We're going to allow these to offer some expansion up in and throughout. And then we're going to come back down the way that we went up to our lower breath. We've got our liver on the left-hand side. We've got our spleen on the right-hand side. We've got our pancreas. We've got our stomach. We've got all our large and small intestines. We've got all our sex organs in there. And all those parts get a nice massage with that beautiful oxygen that we're breathing in from our nose. And did you know that your toes need as much oxygen as your nose? So imagine your oxygen going all the way down to your toes and up to the top of your head, and allow it to expand out past your body. Allow that breathing experience, just to expand out, allow it to expand your heart region, allow it to just clear your head just with the thought of breathing gently into your nose and into your head. Allow it to clear your head. And come into this peace place. Allow yourself to feel fully supported by the chair or your floor, whatever piece of furniture you might be on. Sometimes we might find that we sit tall in the chair. We don't give the chair all of the piece of furniture, all of us, or our bed, all of us. Invite in that relaxation. Invite your shoulders to drop 3 inches. Invite that tension in your low back to be relieved. It's like a dear friend that's protecting you. It's like allow that dear friend of the back to say, it's okay. We're fully supported by the chair. Release that tension. You might even want to just give it a little sway. Swaying usually engages even a sigh, a longer exhale. It's like our built-in tuning fork for our energy system. To bring in the new you, we are working with our energy. Actually, when we do anything, we're working with our energy. It's the most overlooked part of us. Energetic fitness is the most important fitness because it is our foundation. When we look at our foundation, we want to take a look when we step into this new you. What is your foundation? What is your mission or purpose? And you don't even need to know that because it will naturally arise as we do this work. When I work with my clients, they naturally go, oh my gosh, I want to keep feeling this way. Okay, so let's set up a plan how you can feel that way. And then you want to hang out with people that allow you to feel that way. You want to invite people in for your to your life that emulate that way of being. Invite somebody out for lunch or invite somebody out for a walk. And step into that new way of being. Listen to music. I choose not to listen to music with words because the words are usually, I learned that I would get enraptured in these words over and over again, like this record playing, this pre-programming was somebody else's pre-programming words of their life. And it's not always a happy one, right? Or they talk about letting people go. I just want to create my own experience of instrumental music. You might want to try that. I have a playlist on Spotify. You're welcome to look at BlissBE.Me. I have focus, productivity, BlissBE.Me every day. I think I even have one with words, but I think it's called the sing-along one, when I can sing along. So let's take a step into changing that state of being. And the best way to change that state of being is just taking a moment with you and going into that intention again. Intention is so important. And when we have an intention and it's soul purposed, our soul does a happy dance. It stands up in attention. And that's where that Wonder Woman piece comes in, because it's not just you on a lonely journey. You're on a soul journey. That means that there's you, there's the universe, there's your inner child, there's all those components. And when you let go of the energy that does not serve that soul journey, your soul purpose, your enriched life, then all that energy falls away because your vibration rises. It's like static. Static needs a certain friction level in order to stick. Otherwise, it doesn't stick. Otherwise, our clothes would stick to us all the time. Sometimes we get that one piece of clothing and it's sticking, and we put water on or spray something, miss something, and it falls away, right? We've changed the frequency of that static. So when we do this and we step into this new you in this new year, it will allow so much stuff just to fall away. That's why you feel better after experiencing mindfulness or experiencing meditation or experiencing yoga or going for a walk in nature. You've changed your frequency. So sit with me for, how are we doing? Let's try 2 minutes. And then we'll pull a card at the end to help offer us some direction. Next week, I'm going to have uh, uh, a PDF for you so that you can, a little workbook, so that you can start to do some work in some workbook and document the new you. Because it's important to have a system. It's important to have a program. That's why I have the BlissBE method. It gets us to our end result. We have some inputs, we have some outputs, and then we have a feedback loop of says, how are you doing? And we pay attention to the feedback loop. And that's how we make those gigantic steps forward. So feel your feet on the floor, feel your buttocks in the seat. Allow yourself to fully be supported by that seat. Take a nice deep breath down into your lower abdomen. You might want to put your hand there. And an exhale. Allow your shoulders to fall. Allow any of the tension in your body to be released. As we go into this celebration of you, make it fun. Celebrate every nanosecond that you make a new choice. Every nanosecond that you are sure that you have awareness. Every nanosecond that you're breathing down into your lower abdomen and coming into that place of the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing your cells to relax, your organs to be fully nourished. Allow your body to know that you are here, you are present, and you are listening. And you will never abandon you again. Because you are the most beautiful, most important gift that this world needs. It is the conscious you. We have 3 states of consciousness. We have consciousness as it is when we make a choice of what we say. We've decided, we've thought it through. It's part of the program that we want to create. We have the subconscious, or often called the unconscious, which is our pre-programmed, that fills our mind and really is here to help us to survive, but doesn't realize how old you are and that you've got strength and you can make your own decisions. You're not that 4-year-old little girl or boy or person. Them are there. You're not that. I'm not that, and I will never be that again. I am wise. I get to make choices. Abundance is my birthright. Freedom is my birthright. Come into that state of being. Let's recalibrate your energy and into that new state of being. It's time to return to your life with your full consciousness on board. And eventually, we create the habit, we create the new neural pathways where we return to this conscious state more and more frequently, more quickly, like driving a car. First, we have to educate ourselves how to do it. We have to embody all our sensories to achieve it. And sometimes you can drive and you go, wow, how did I get here? How much time just went by? It becomes second nature, automatic. The goal is for your body to eventually break through and liberate itself into this new you. We celebrate you. The body can't get here without offering resistance because it wants to make sure that you're sure. It will cling to everything that it knows from the past. That's okay. Let it know, let your subconscious know that that's okay. I'm making a new choice. And sometimes you might need to be assertive with your thoughts. A dear friend, Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate, will sometimes use foul language and tell it to get the heck out. I don't need you anymore. I'm not that little person. I'm grown now. I am in charge. You are the passenger ego. I am the driver. Take a nice deep breath down into the lower abdomen. And just allow all the tension to be relieved in the body. And feel the confidence of taking yourself into this new territory, the unknown where spontaneous magic can just happen. Somebody might offer you that new dream job. You might end up bumping into and meeting your soulmate. You'll be in a position to know if there's any red flags coming up. You'll have more clarity. You're operating from a place of love in your heart. Now breathe into your heart. Breathe into your heart. And let's take this moment in time and share it, because everything that we feed ourselves, we feed the collective. I like to call it, which wolf are you feeding? And breathe into your heart, and now allow, on the exhale, allow it to expand to every single cell in your body. Sometimes you can envision colors and see what sensory strength is showing up for you now. Our heart energy is often depicted as green or pink, or simply the energy of the higher self. God, creator, source energy is often seen as a gold and white. And breathe it into all the cells of your body and see if you can go slightly past your body. See if you can fill the room that you're in on the exhale. And honor yourself and celebrate yourself for doing this work. And start noting in a journal and a piece of paper, if you've started that journal, what your intention is. What is it that you want to step into? What you see, what you like. What's your favorite color? Listen to new styles of music. Try new experiences on. Try a new flavor, whether it's food, whether it's music, whether it's laughing more frequently. Enjoy laughing. Just going, oh my gosh. Catch those negative thoughts and say, cancel that. Cancel that. That's not the truth of who I am. Start to look at what your values are, what your mission is. Create a little paragraph around that. My values are, the foundation is non-harming. It made me really sad to think that I needed to have this foundation of not being harmed as my main foundation, my values for living. Non-harming, love and support. What is love for me? What is love to you? We each have a different love language. What is support to you? And what is harm to you? I had to put a hard line on harm. I needed to know I was safe. Support was as simple as saying thank you, acknowledging my contribution. Those are small steps that got me on the road to my new me, my me mission. And love. Love as a love language from my children or anybody else was a hug. It fortifies my soul. I call it a blueprint. Take that with you today. See what you can fill in those parts of what your mission and your values are and what your intention is. And next week, we get to have the workbook that we can start to fill out. It's really a wonderful workbook. I love you. Thank you for being here. And let's pull a card before we go. My name's Deborah O'Neill. I'm the CEO and founder of BlissBE.Me, Integrative Holistic Healing, Health and Healing. I'm an energy practitioner. I see clients one-on-one. I have a podcast out right now that's called BlissBE.Mind+Energy, and it is a progressive podcast. Check that out because it's got a lot of information that's relevant to what the work that we're doing right now. And allow miracles to happen. Our card, allow miracles to happen. And remember, miracles happen in the unknown, not our known pre-programming. Make space for the unknown, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for being here. I love you. Make it a great